thought evil against me, but God meant it for good. The idea of God bringing this plan together for the people puts him in that position where he's not just like distantly involved. I don't care about you anymore. Go and do your thing. You've broken covenant with me. That's not this God. God is intimately involved in every detail of this whole plan of sending them into exile. He's intimately there. He's intimately involved in their lives. It's not as if he sends them to Babylon and says, I'm through with you. The Israelites, they would have it in mind that God has plans to harm them since he sends them into exile. But through Jeremiah, Yahweh sends this message of hope that God is not finished with them even during the 70-year exile period. God assures them of a future and a hope in the midst of what seems to be hopeless. John Bunyan writes, it's always hard to see the purpose in wilderness wanderings until after they are over. And in the midst of this wilderness wandering for the people of Israel, it was very difficult to see where God was at work. But God's discipline came in the form of exile for Israel as a result of their idolatry. God's intent was not to harm them, but to redeem them. And God was not finished with them. And God isn't finished with you either, and he's not finished with me. Philippians 1:6 talks about God beginning a work in you and bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. For us, it may or it may not be a result of discipline that bad things happen to us. It may simply be the result of living in a broken world. It might be a result of the fact that you belong to King Jesus, that bad things are happening to you. And if that is you, then hear the word from the Lord, from Peter today, that let those who suffer according to God's will entrust their souls to a faithful Creator while doing good. But make no mistake, regardless of your circumstance, God's got it all worked out. He knows how it's going to end. God's bringing it all together for your good, for his glory. And Jesus, because Jesus was exiled as a result of our disobedience, and through his obedience, the fact that he has brought a new covenant means that we will never be exiled. In other words, Jesus' exile had to happen so that our eternal exile would never happen. There's hope and there's restoration for these people even at the bottom of the pit. And there's hope and there's restoration for us as well. Would you pray with me?